And he's Mario in that city. And Mario, is it cold there today or not? How's the weather?
Well, maybe about 35. I got to be honest with you, doggy. That Epson read is my brain is hurting from that. Oh.
As long as you remember who read it, that's the most important thing. I get the point, though. You may continue. How you doing? Okay, pal?
Yeah, and I'm well enough. Let's put it that way. Tell me honestly. I think you're a straight shooter. Did you have any say in where you went on your little winter getaway?
Yes, I did. I usually. I take care of the vacations in my family, where I usually come up with the place. My wife's got too much other things to do with the 4 kids, so I usually, I don't dictate, but I usually pick the spot. We keep our fingers crossed. So this year I did pick Grenada because the Eastern Caribbean you can't go to with all the hurricanes, the St. Martins, the St. Thomases, the Anguillas. So this year we try to do something different, and we hit a home run. We were lucky. So I looked like a good man.
What about, like, say, the Cayman Islands or Bermuda?
Well, you can't go to Bermuda now. It's not warm enough.
It's 61.
Right? Yeah. No. You don't go away. You don't go away on vacation for 60 degrees. That you don't do. Yeah, in the wintertime. You go away on vacation in the wintertime if you get a chance to for good weather, not for moderate weather, for real good weather. So that's why we pick Grenada.
You're trying to tell me you were reading those 5 novels or books outdoors or inside?
No, combination of both, of course, but mostly outdoors. And I did read 5, and I did finish the Tom Yorkie book last night on the packed train on the way home, 54 pages. So I have read all 5 books, and unlike many a year, I actually did a good job because all 5 books are good books. So the Tom Yorkie biography, The Couple Next Door, Munich, the book about the Osage Indian out there in Oklahoma, which is an excellent book, and then The Rogue Lawyer by Grissom, who I understand is America's author, but all 5 books were good books. So there you go. Next. What else?
Yeah, I'll probably read 2 of the 5. I don't know about all 5. And I know, I'm an entirely different pay grade than you. I'm about to go down to the Dominican Republic on about maybe $1,500 for 2 weeks.
You're gonna spend 2 weeks in the Dominican Republic?
A mutual friend of ours, Craig in the Bronx, he owns an appreciable amount of real estate down there. He's cut me a great deal, and I'm going to spend 2 sun-filled weeks down in the Caribbean.
When are you leaving?
March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. He told me if you go down there and your spiel is that you got a pair of shoes, the girls are impressed. So that's going to get.
And you're a good look. And you're a good-looking guy, Mario. So maybe a little luck in that department. You make
not half bad. I got a full head of hair. Might be turning white, but let me ask you a question because I actually bought into the fact.
Yes.
That I thought you were breaking news when you started the show today that Kirk Cousins was signing with the Vikings. No one is reporting that. Where are you getting the news?
Well, the Vikings and the Jets, that's what we heard. Now, having said, the Vikings are finalists, whether it's 4 or 2. Is anybody in?
They're 3. It's the Cardinals, the Broncos, the Vikings, and the Jets.
Yeah, right. Out of the 4 teams. What is the feeling in your town about having him as your quarterback?
You know what? I'm not alone. We're all about Case Keenum. We want him back.
Do you really? Do you really? Wow.
If you believe in this team, you want to keep it together. You want to keep the payroll down, and you could get him for a lot less than you can Kirk Cousins. So, Case Keenum's a stand-up guy, and I don't think he was playing beyond his means. I think he finally came into himself. I think a lot was working against him. So, yeah, you know what? There's a sense that Zimmer may not be a legitimate head coach. You got the Coke bottle glasses. You got issues with your eyesight. Maybe you can't see the forest for the trees. You have a competent quarterback. Keep the team as is, and let's move forward. And I'll tell you another thing.
Yeah.
This Sam Bradford, this loser, do you know he actually went on a ski vacation recently with his bum knee? I mean, could he just retire already?
He went to where with his bum knee?
He went on a ski vacation. I mean, is he really just trying to thumb his nose at his career?
Again, we got to get deep. You wouldn't think he'd be going skiing, Mario, and I would leave the Zimmer eyes out of it. But I do think that they're making a mistake. I don't think they need Cousins. They would have lost to the Eagles that day if they had Unitas as the quarterback. Made no difference. Didn't make any difference. Here is Mark in Rockville, Maryland. Mark, good afternoon. How are you today? As I pressed the button correctly. Mark, good afternoon. Go ahead. What do you have for
Hey,
me?
Chris, good to have you back on. I wanted to. I guess you answered my question about Cousins. I think is the fact that he was franchised. Is that why he's getting offered so much money? He has to be like in the top 5.
No. That has nothing to do with it. But
No?
I mean, the franchise has. I mean, if you want him, that's the going rate. A lot of teams are big time under the cap who need quarterbacks. The Jets. Right. So if you want to play in that game, you're going to have to be in that $28 to $31 million guaranteed a year range. And, a lot of teams, now remember, quarterbacks cost a lot of money, and the teams that need them don't have a quarterback. Denver not paying a lot of money for a quarterback. So usually they slot around $20 million anyway for the position. So as a result, that's why he's getting paid that money. But it's got nothing to do with the franchise tag. Nothing.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. So, I disagree with that last call there. I don't think Keenum is the answer in Minnesota. I think they went as far as they can go with him this year, and he played about as good as he can play, and that's it. I just don't see it. I don't know if Cousins is the answer, but I think they need to do something else there on with that situation. I just don't see it.
Interesting. I mean, I'm not sure if I agree with that. I mean, they went as far as they could have gone. Yeah. They were not going to win, or they were not going to beat the Eagles with any quarterback, so we keep an eye on it. All right, what else you got with the baseball? Let me hear your thoughts on that for a second.
Well, the baseball, I was thinking, I think Houston, you can almost count them out because nobody wins twice in a row anymore. Something's going to, they'll get some bad luck or something will happen. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. They got a nice team, but I kind of think you're right about the Yankees being going to be tough. If they make a deal at the deadline to get another pitcher in there, they'll be a strong team.
Do you want Arrieta for $150 million?
No, I'd take him for 1 year, but I wouldn't pay him $150 million.
No,
if the Nats would give him $25 for 1 year, I'd do that. Why not?
Yeah, but they're not gonna. He's gonna want a guaranteed deal. We'll see how that works. Tony, good call by Marky in Maryland. Tony in Pensacola, Florida. Anthony, good afternoon. How are you today?
How you doing, Chris?
Fine, Anthony. Thank you. What's on your mind now?
I want to ask you about the Braves real quick. But did you hear the stat before? I know Phil won on Sunday, and you was talking to Johnny Miller, and I didn't realize it that Phil Mickelson has never won Player of the Year or the money title on the PGA Tour.
I did not realize that. He never won a Player of the Year when he won the Masters?
From what they said on NBC on Sunday, that he has never been a Player of the Year for the PGA Tour, and he's never won the money list on the PGA Tour.
Well, I can understand the money list. He doesn't play every week. I can get that one. He hasn't won multiple tournaments. Little surprised he has not won a Player of the Year, even the year that he won the British Open. Sometimes the Player of the Year winner is the guy who wins the later tournaments instead of the earlier tournaments. And obviously, there's a lot of golf after the Masters you kind of forget about. And I believe that's a vote. That's not a systematic scenario where,
it's voted on by the players.
Yeah, it's voted on by the players, and they kind of forget in November who won the majors in April. So I think it helps you to win the later major than it is the earlier major, but I did not realize that. No. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Real quick on the Braves. I know not expecting much from the Braves, but what do you see the Braves this year? I'm heading up to Chicago in April. Luckily, it's early to go see them play in Wrigley Field, which I've never done. So, but I'm just wondering what's your thoughts on those?
I think the Braves would be very much like they were a year ago. I think the Braves would be in a situation where they will be I think they'd be right around 73 to 75 wins. I think they will make the big leap in a year or so. They got a very good minor league system. They're not going to go out there and spend a ton of money yet until the team is good. So I think down the road you will see Atlanta, not in 2018. Steve Torrey is back in the house.
How are you, Chris? How's everything?
I'm okay, Steve.
Good.
You doing well?
Yes, quite well, yes. Thanks for asking.
Did they have I don't know how this works. How are the marijuana laws in Colorado, by the way?
What do you mean, how are they?
Are you allowed I know that when you and Kyle, are you allowed to you and Kyle walking down the street? Are you allowed to do what you do or no? I don't know how does it work. I know it's got very, very progressive marijuana laws. I'm just asking. Well, when you guys were, how did you do it? Did you hide? Did you just walk down the street in broad daylight? How did you?
No, it's not a broad daylight scenario. Hiding? No, hiding.
Hide in an alleyway? Pass it around?
No, I don't think that's needed. There's no need. There's no need for that.
I know the laws are pretty progressive in that state. I was thinking about that all day.
Yes, you can. It's legal. You can.
That's the point.
You can purchase it at the various locations.
But even if it's a father and son, if they wanted to sit down over a cup of coffee,
I don't think that's recommended for a college freshman to hang out with his son and have a cup of coffee. He doesn't drink coffee. Occasionally he does. I get where you're going.
Yeah, I knew. Yes, it's funny.
Yeah, that's quite amusing.
How you feel? Everything under control with you?
Everything's good. Are you ready for the next storm to barrel down our area?
Yeah, I hear it may not be as bad in the eastern part of Long Island, but where we live on that line, it'd be tough.
Yeah, I think
12 inches?
Most of us are going to be impacted in one way or another, I would think.
12 inches?
12 inches. Yes.
My God.
Could be. I don't know. 8, 12. What difference does it make?
A lot of snow. 8 to 12. What do you mean? What's so funny?
No, just checking in with Eddie. Eddie knows what I'm talking about.
Is Bill Zimmerman going to join us tomorrow in the city?
Bill's questionable. Yeah, he's got to figure out if he has to drive somebody the following day.
The 4 dogs and the lovely missus. So we're not sure about Bill.
Bill's questionable.
No, he's questionable. You're going to join us, is that correct?
Yes, I will. I'm going to stay in the city tomorrow night.
Oh, you are? Very good.
Yeah. I no longer. I gave back my equipment in my home because I'm a team player, so therefore I cannot broadcast from my residence.
Where are you staying, at the Pierre tomorrow night?
I'm staying where you're staying.
I know you're not.
No clue.
Here's the sports fight with Stevie. I'm Mad Dog.